Hey guys, it's been a while.
Long while.
We're back. We're here at the end of the High Roller Reining Classic in Las Vegas. You guys just saw me show Roscoe. It was the last draw, the Open Derby. And he was marked 217 and a half. Had a bobble on the right spin that cost us. That probably cost 6 points. You know, probably had to -1 that maneuver, and it was +1 caliber and just a little miscommunication. But he was incredible. I look for him to be really good come next year. Okay, I'm trying to remember now where we've been. I think last time we saw you guys would have been at the ranch, right?
For the
clinic back in May. So we've been to Oklahoma, the Derby in June, went to the Reining by the Bay in Woodside, California in July. Then we went to Ocala, Florida. Then we went to the Run for Million, then to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and now back here at the High Roller. It's been like a crazy schedule, which being in Texas now has opened it up where we could go all over the place, and then we've got some great Derby horses, so been able to go and try to get them shown. And they've all been pretty good along the way. You can see we're about done getting loaded up. There's Megan down there trying to pop in our vlog. She's getting the last few things done. Actually, she's getting horses fed right now. What I really wanted to talk about was a big bummer was at the beginning of this horse show, we got a call from, it's kind of a shock. I knew stuff was going on with our old horse, Janice Dixon's horse, Wimps Cool Breeze, Stoney. He's a horse that he's my #1 horse that I had showing. If you look at my record, I've won more money on that horse than any other. You guys recognize a real pretty buckskin. You've talked about him a lot. You've seen him a lot. And anyway, he's been sick for the last couple of years, and the vets have been trying to figure out what's going on with him. And we've had him there at the barn and kind of just been trying to get things figured out, having different people look at him, and ultimately we have him in a place where they thought they kind of had gotten to the bottom of what was going on, and did a procedure on him, a surgery on him, and everything seemed like it went well. They laid him down, he got up, got pictures, video. The next day, which would have been Saturday, I believe, first weekend of this horse show, the vet said that he was acting a little shocky and just didn't seem like himself. They had him on IV fluids and kind of bounced back that day. Within the next day, he was going through the same episode, and unfortunately, he passed away a couple days after that surgery. And there's always just there's a handful of horses. I mean, I love them all. Like, look at Tough right here. He's trying to reach and get the camera. He's looking for food. You spend so much time with all of these horses that they become part of your family. And Stoney was one that, I mean, he stands out. Him and there's a horse named Easy Odie Wiz that I showed. But he was one of those ones that was kind of, for my career, was just incredible. I showed him probably way more than I should have. I remember him, as a 3-year-old. Remember, you found him as a 2-year-old. You found him on Facebook.
Yeah.
And we went out, Mark and Janice Dixon, we went out and looked at him and loved him and bought him, and he was doing great.
We're looking for a pretty buckskin.
Pretty buckskin. And anyway, I remember training that horse as a 3-year-old, and we got a point in the year where he was just being tough. And I swear to this day, I asked Janice, I said, "Hey Janice, I think we need to get a little Stoney." And she kind of looked at me like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, I think we're just not going to get there. Somebody's going to get hurt, either me or him." And she said, "Okay, no problem." I swear that horse, he knew, because it was like a Friday, and come out Monday, and he just started riding fantastic and was great ever since. The first show I took him to, Reining by the Bay, marked a 220 and a half on him and placed and made the level 4 futurity finals. And was just so reliable. You know, I mean, and you know, I just think like, you know, it's kind of funny that, you know, not funny, but I'm here at the High Roller where you know, we pass and or you know, we get the news. This place here was like, I could always count on him. You know, he would always show up. Had some of his greatest runs
so
here.
So great in this
and marked the 27 here, like his last Derby. I mean, I remember that horse one year at the Sun Circuit. I scored a 77 on him. Janice Dixon comes back and shows him in the novice amateur, which is like crazy. You should not do it. Very next day, and she marks her high score with a 70.5. I come back the next day, get another 77 on him. He was just that kind of horse, man. And you know, just 12 years old. It's just, you know, it's a shock. You know, again, you know, I just wish you'd like to be able to pet him one more time or ride him around one more time. You know, Ryan rode him. You know, Emma's. You know, I mean, he was just one of those special horses. And you know, I have a couple. I got Rocky, that's by Stoney out of Duchess. That's 4. You know, at home, and got Perla. She's down there in the stall. You know, a couple of his offspring. We've only got just a handful because we didn't get a chance to breed him very many times. I've got Gambler that you guys have seen. That's a Little Joe Cash out of Stoney's mother. Yeah, I just wanted to take a minute just to remember that horse because I mean, I'll never forget him. I mean, he again, you know, I mean, it's like I'm still kind of in shock because he's so young. I guess I would tell you, you know, those horses that you have. I mean, we like them all, but those special ones, you know, I mean, cherish the time that you have with them because. You never know, you know, you never know what can happen. I mean, he was in great condition, and then all of a sudden it just kind of started coming on. I wish we had Mark and Janice here because I know they feel the same way about him. Remember that time that we were at the lounge in Arizona and we decided, or you got one of those big beach balls, or Mary Beth did,
Oh, yeah.
and we threw that out there, and he went nuts. Like
Loved
he was just chasing that thing all around the arena. He was so good. When we took him to, it was North Carolina. No, it wasn't. Where was it? Yeah, it was North Carolina. Tryon. You know, that was towards the end of his career, and he had some back trouble that we just kind of figured out.
So tough. Such a huge heart.
He went out that first day, and the ground was kind of, you know, not great for him, and his back hurt, and didn't have a great run, and sucked it up 2 days later, and I think, you know, marked like a 221 on. It wasn't enough to get in, but I mean, for that horse to bounce back, that never happens for one horse to be the way he was the first day and not have any schooling in between. I mean, just a one practice ride, and for him to suck it up, and that just kind of summed up that horse's whole career. He was always right there, just so dependable. He was like one, you know, if I didn't have a great horse show, if I got to show that horse one time, you know, usually something good always happened.
Oh,
right?
yeah, always. Yeah. Always in the finals or winning.
Heck, Ryan, you know Stoney pretty good. You followed him around.
Oh, he's a badass horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, old Wimps Cool Breeze. Yeah, and I'd like to get some, I mean, we've got quite a few photos of him, but I want to get something done to put in the wall in our house.
Oh,
Because, you know, again, these horses are, you know, I mean, this is what I do for a living, and you know, I want to show, you know, and I want to compete and do well, but when you spend this much time with them, it's tough once you get on the camera bad. You spend so much time with these horses that, you know, you definitely, and I can't stress enough, you know, they feel like family members, and so, you know, it definitely, you know, I'm for sure, you know, I you know, real sad horse show for me. You know, I mean, you've got to, you know, try to remember all the good times with that horse, and you know, appreciate all the runs, all the mistakes he allowed me to make, and you know, all the good stuff that happened as well. And you know, I can't thank, you know, Mark and Janice Dixon enough for allowing me to ride him. I know they love that horse just as much as I did. We would have done anything to have him have a long and you know.
It wasn't for lack of trying, that's for sure.
Everybody tried. Everybody tried. So unfortunately, that is you know, part of having horses and animals and stuff is you know, you don't get to keep them forever. So I think definitely I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a shot of something tonight for my old friend Stoney, for sure. I know, you know, many a night I'd have one after riding him, so you know, I'm going to have one more. Let's see if one of these guys ends up being the next iron horse like Stoney that could stop her here. He was good. He got a 220 and a half, and he placed.
Look, he's nickering.
He placed in the Derby here. There was almost 200 horses in this class. It was huge. There's Big.
Big. He's pretty special too. Yes, you are.
Big got a 229 and a half in Ocala, Florida out there. Yeah.
This horse has quite a story.
That's a 229 and a half on him, a 228 on Rooster, 226 and a half on Fuego. That was a great day. Here's a new one here that you guys haven't seen yet. Star. Wallaby a Big Star is his name. This is Tim and Mary Beth's new 3-year-old prospect that we found him in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Garrett Thurner lived somewhere, I don't know where he lived, Tennessee or something like that. He had him and did a nice job on him, and we were able to get our hands on this horse. I think this horse is phenomenal. He's going to be a big star. He's out of a Walla Miz mare with Smart Chick Lean on the bottom. So a lot of mine are bred real similar to that. I think this horse here, though, is going to be pretty fancy. We'll look to get some big things out of him in the Oklahoma at the futurity.
And he has good hair.
Here's Stoney's half brother. Here's Gambler. You guys have seen him before. He's got some poultice on his legs just before he goes on the trip, just to pull any inflammation out. You can see he's really filled out a ton. He's maybe even a little bigger than Stoney, you think?
Oh yeah.
At that age?
Oh, definitely. Stoney wasn't very tall. Stout, not very tall.
Here's Perla. This is one of the few Stoneys out there. This was out of Mark and Janice Dixon's mare Princess. Elk Run Ranch in Colorado own her. She's just 3. She had her first show here and she did pretty darn good. She had a lot of good parts out there. Well, I think that's a wrap on the high roller here. I don't know about you, but I think I've had enough.
Yeah.
This, she had enough. She's walking off.
Sorry.
You've really had enough. Oh, what about Celine? We can't leave Celine out. Look at little Celine here. She's a Gunner Special Night out of Atari's Designer Jeans. I don't know if you guys have seen her or not.
We've got to get back to.
She's just 3, and she went out marked a 217 and a half in the futurity, placed in the level 4 and 3.
Yeah, I think she's got a good start to her show record. I think she won a little over 3,000.
Yep. Sometimes big things come in small packages. Taryn keeps telling me she's too small for me.
I think she's more my size.
I think she's just right.
He's too big for her, and I know you all will say that too. They'll back me up, and they'll be like, "You should let Karen ride that horse."
We got one more night in Vegas before we go home.
Yep, we're going to the Raider game tomorrow.
Raiders and Cardinals tomorrow.
We're excited to go see that new arena.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you guys Cowboys fans now, or?
A lot of people have asked if we're Cowboys fans, and not yet.
Matt is a Raider fan. He's like...
I grew up a Raider fan.
And the Cardinals.
I grew up a Raider fan, but then we were 25 years in Arizona. I'm allowed to have both, so they're both playing together. The Cowboys right now, Dak Prescott getting hurt, it's not a good year to jump on their bandwagon. So
he's a Fairweather fan.
Well, who are you going to root for at the game tomorrow?
Well, it's a win-win because it's both my teams. But I'll have to go with the original team with the Raiders. I want to see the Raiders win. I might just take both jerseys. So I'm going to win either way.
What are you going to layer them? You're going to go with the Cardinal jersey underneath and then the Raiders. And then if the Cardinals start winning, you'll take the Raiders off?
Yeah, when a Raider game, I don't know if you want to take the Raider jersey off though. And as far as the Cowboys go, I hope they win. As long as they're not playing the Cardinals or the Raiders, I hope they win. So appreciate you guys watching. We'll get back at it at the ranch for sure. Get you out there. It's still under construction. A lot has gotten done though. We've come a long ways. But this fall, we'll have you back out, and yeah, we'll put tough things to that. We'll have you guys back out, and what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
About what? Having them all out?
Yeah, well, Ryan's gonna come out basically.
Yeah, we need to get Ryan to move there.
And
so
see
then...
our futurity horses, our new ones that are out there. And the 2-year-olds coming up. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So.
A lot.
I say that's a wrap. Let's go hit the strip.